Hello guys, hello everybody. Good evening. So glad we all can gather here to announce the winner of the storytelling competition. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Ari Denzel, and here with me are my fellow friends Andrea and Raina as the committee of the Elate Paramythi storytelling competition. Today, our competition finally come to an end. This year, participants come from various regions in Indonesia. Isn't that cool? All of them are very talented and had already worked very hard, successfully bringing interesting story with their own style.
And we would like to express our deepest gratitude to our sponsor, Fresh Flag, for their support to make the Elite Paramythi competition successful. We would also like to thank all of you for your participation. Now, shall we begin?
All right, let us introduce our judge, Mr. Shan. How are you, Mr. Shan?
Hey, doing great. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for coming. And
yeah, no problem.
Let me ask you a few things. I think an online storytelling competition is something new. What do you think about our competition that is held online?
I think it was just an amazing competition overall. I mean, being online too, the hard work really showed. So even if you're not in the top 3, just know that all your videos were amazing and just did an amazing job.
All right. Do you have anything to say to our participants before we announce the winners?
Yeah, just briefly breaking down how I graded the scores for everyone. 50% of it was based on the content, so the story itself. 30% was based on the delivery, how it was said. And 20% was based on the language chosen, whether it was appropriate word or the correctness of the chosen word. For the top 3, it came down to who made the least amount of minor mistakes or who was the clearest. So the top 3 was very, very tough to decide. They all did an amazing, amazing job.
Oh yeah, I believe you have chosen the best top 3. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Shan.
Of course, my pleasure.
And I think the participants are really excited about the announcement. Let me ask Christina, how do you feel?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for holding a great competition, for holding my favorite competition, which is storytelling. It's been an amazing experience, of course. Thank you for holding a competition that doesn't just hold competitions that are based on academics, but also based on arts, especially because you guys held 13 competitions in total, which is amazing. Based on my experience, it was really fun, actually. I had to pick my properties, which were roses, trees, and many other things. Kendala yang dirasain itu karena memorinya full, jadi harus minjem HP temen buat ngerekam. Habis itu sama filmingnya baru hamin sejam gitu.
All right. Yeah, I saw your set and it was so beautiful. There are a lot of roses. How did you prepare for your performance?
So basically my story is all about Snow White and Rose Red. That's why I had the inspiration to use roses, of course. Yeah, roses and trees, so it would look like the wilderness.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
And I want to ask Syarul Bagus.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. Were there any difficulties when you were preparing for a storytelling performance?
Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great.
Okay, my preparation for this competition began by compiling the story that I will tell, perspective properties, and continually keep learning and practicing in showing for my performance. Because in my opinion, the effort will not betray the result that have been achieved, and most importantly, the process. The end result is a bonus from the effort we have done.
Okay, and may I know the title of your story and why did you choose it?
Well, my story is Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. I chose that story because the story have a moral value which is suitable, and of course, the story is very interesting to follow. There are two core moral value or to confirm in the story I tell. First, be yourself. Don't try to be someone else or to conform to what other perceive us to be. Be who you are meant to be true to who you are, and live your life with honesty. And second, don't be the greedy human who are never grateful and will harm themselves because he's great.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Now, without further ado, let us proceed to the announcement.
Okay. The third winner is Bianca Heidi from SMAK Penabur Kota Wisata. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Now, let us watch Bianca Heidi's performance.
Hello everyone, my name is Bianca Heidi from BPK Penabur Kota Wisata. Today, I'm going to tell you a tale as old as time, Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time lived a prince. He had everything he wanted, but he was spoiled and arrogant. One cold night, there was a knock on the door. The prince opened it to see an old lady begging for food and shelter in exchange of a rose. The prince rejected her, saying, "How dare you ask such a thing to me, a prince?" As he shooed her out, the old lady transformed into a beautiful enchantress. Because of his lack of compassion and selfishness, she cursed him into a beast and his servants into household items. She took the rose that he rejected and cast a spell, as she warns him that the spell can only be broken once he learns how to love another and be loved back in return before the last petal falls, or he will remain a beast forever. A few years passed, and in a small town of France lived a beautiful girl named Belle. Belle loves to read. She will spend most of her days head deep into a book, and her imagination just exploring. But everybody in town sees her as a weird and peculiar girl. After all, she dreams big. Well, everybody else in town is content with their lives in the village. Belle thinks that there is something more to this provincial life. They all talk behind her back and try to stay as far away from her as possible. Except the town's favorite show-off, Gaston, who will ask Belle's hand in marriage, which Belle will always reject. After all, she doesn't want to end up as a cliché housewife, and Gaston doesn't have the best personality either. One day, Belle's father, Maurice, decided to go on a convention. He is an inventor after all. He asked Belle what she wanted from his trip. Belle simply said, "Papa, all I want is for you to come back safe. But if you insist, I want a single rose." And so, Maurice left. But midway, he got lost in the woods. He looked around and saw a huge castle. He walked in and saw food served on the table. And so he helped himself. After he was full and ready to go back on his journey, he remembered Belle's gift. He ran to the garden and picked a single rose. But he didn't realize that behind him was creeping slowly the beast, as he caught him and imprisoned him in the dungeon on the tower above. The horse that Maurice used to get there went back to the village to Belle. Belle asked, "What happened? Where's Papa? Take me to him." And so she went to the castle. She searched and searched and saw her father in the dungeon. "Papa, what happened? Who did this to you?" All Maurice could do was point behind her. On the corner of the room, a dark figure stood. Belle toughens up and asks, "Who are you? Let him go. And come to the light, so I can see you." The dark figure obeyed as he slowly walks to the center of the room as the light above him shines to reveal that he is the beast. Belle shook in fear. "Take me instead. Please, just let him go." And so they got into an agreement, and the beast forces Maurice back into the village. Unlike her father, Belle is allowed to go around the castle, not just the dungeon, except the west wing. She looked around and saw a candle, but was surprised when it suddenly moved and talked. "Bonjour, mademoiselle. My name is Lumiere." The candle spoke. "You can talk?" she asked. "Why, of course he can. What is he, an object? My name is Coxford, by the way." A clock spoke too. "Well, we technically are, darling. My name is Mrs. Potts." A teapot joins the conversation. Slowly, household items start circling her. She was very confused. But then they told her about the curse. She slowly understands and befriends them. After all, they treat her like a guest. But Belle got bored, and because she's curious, she went to the west wing to see a single rose in the center of the room. She got so mesmerized that she didn't realize the beast was behind her. She ran out of the castle into the woods, not realizing behind her were wolves, targeting her as their prey. Before she could get hurt, the beast came and rescued her as he fought back the wolves. It did end up with him getting bitten. Went home, Belle felt bad, and so she helped him clean it up and bandage it. After that incident, they started to get along and to get to know one another. The beast surprised Belle with a huge library, all the books Belle could ever dream of, while Belle taught him how to read and write. Slowly, they started to get a soft side for one another, and even possibly fall in love. After a while, they decided to have a lovely evening together. They both dressed up with the help of the household items. They walked to the center of the ballroom, took hands as they danced romantically across the dance floor. After, Beast showed Belle the magical mirror the enchantress has left him that can show you anything you ask it. Belle took it and said, "Show me, Papa." The mirror shines and it shows Maurice. He has fallen ill. Belle panicked, but Beast calmed her down and half-heartedly allows her to go back to the village, see her father. And so she did. But before she could see her father, the townsfolk surrounded her. Gaston asked, well, where have you been, princess? Your crazy father says that you've been imprisoned by what? A beast? What a lunatic!" Belle was insulted. "My papa is not insane. It's true there's this beast in this castle. But it's not what you think. He's kind. He treats me well. I'm not lying. Show me the beast." And she shows everyone the beast from the mirror. Gaston got jealous as he took the mirror away from her. "A beast? Kind. Have you been cursed? What if the beast has dark magic? We should all kill him before he comes here and curses this whole village." With Gaston's encouragement, him and his mob went to the beast's castle using the mirror as the guide. They went inside. As they were trashing the place, Gaston went to the beast and fought him. The beast was discouraged. After all, Belle's not with him anymore. What's the point? But on the corner of his eyes, he saw Belle running towards him. His spirit was lifted up. And so, they both fought on top of the tower. They fought and fought as Gaston stabbed him. With the last of his power, he pushed Gaston off, killing him. The last petal falls as the beast dies. and the household items start an act. Bill ran to the beast and cried, "No! No! Wake up! Don't leave me! Wake up! I love you! I love you! Please! Please! I love you! Wake up!" Because of her confession, the beast rose as he sparkles, and he magically turns back into a handsome prince once more. The household items magically turn back into human. Belle did it. She broke the curse. She taught the beast how to love another, and Belle loves him back in return. All is well. As they celebrated in joy, the prince hosted a huge party, inviting everyone across the land, remembering not to discriminate anyone once more. And they danced and partied the night away. What we can learn from the story is to never discriminate others against their appearance, because what they look like from the outside doesn't define who they are in the inside. Thank you, and the end.
Wow, Bianca Heidi performance is very amazing, isn't it? Okay. Now, before we hear any comment from our judge, I want to ask our winner, Bianca Heidi. How do you feel right now?
Hi, I feel so happy. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I put so much effort into this, and to see that I actually placed, it's such an amazing feeling. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, now, Mr. Shan, would you like to give any comments? Mr. Shan?
Oh, I think Mr. Shan is connected. So let's just proceed to the second winner.
Oh, all right.
Okay, and next, the second place goes to Niluh Made Christina Dewitasari. Congratulations! And now let us watch Christina's performance.
Hello, didn't see you there. Wow, a marvelous red rose. This reminds me of a story. Would you like to hear about it? Great! I'm Christina and I'll be a storyteller for today. Today's story is all about Snow White and Rose Red. The story goes like this. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a woman and her two daughters. Their names were Snow White and Rose Red. Snow White was a shy and kind-hearted girl, while Rose was an energetic and playful girl. Careful, her mother would say multiple times a day. "Oh, Mommy, I'm okay. I'll be fine." Laughed Snow White, for Rose would literally be tripping all the time on a regular basis. They had a quiet and peaceful life until one winter night they heard a knock on the door. Who could it be? "Snow, would you be a dear and see who's outside?" said the mother. "Oh, all right, Mom." Snow slowly opened the door. She gasped heavily, for it was no human at all. It was a grizzly fuzzy bear. Ah, mommy, look at that. Oh, screamed the bear. Rose quickly hid behind her mother's skirt, frightened to death. Don't be afraid, kind ladies. I mean no harm at all. I just want to find a warm place to stay for the winter. Rose quickly came to her senses and said, You're most delighted, Mr. Bear. Come in, come in. She was all excited all of a sudden, for she had never been so close to a bear ever before. They ate and had the most delicious milk ever, fresh and flag. They played and told stories until they all fell asleep. They got so used to the bear's company that when summer came and the bear had to go, oh, they were all so very, very sad. If it wasn't for the spell, I would have never met these wonderful girls. What spell? Snow White asked, curious. Oh, no, never mind, Snow. I have to go now. I must find my jewels before those wicked dwarves get them. Oh, right, Mr. Bear. But please, do visit us sometimes.
Four of them hugged each other real tight, and they bid the bear farewell.
Later that day, Snow and Rose went on a stroll. They came across a tree that had fallen, but they were not alone. They noticed a peculiar, hunched figure with a long beard that was stuck to the tree. They stepped closer and realized that it was a male dwarf. When he noticed him, he said, What are you doing? Come over here, help me. My beard is stuck. They quickly ran to help the dwarf, tried pushing the tree, but it was no use at all. Luckily, Snow brought scissors and cut the parts of the beard. That was a very bad idea. The dwarf got furious. You silly gals! What did you do? How dare you cut my luscious beard? Huh. The dwarf stormed away, not saying goodbye or even a single thank you. Could you imagine dwarves back then? However, the girls did not mind at all and continued strolling. This time, they met a handsome man that was fainting on a rock. They tried waking him up. He was very, very dizzy. He introduced himself. I am Prince Adam, and I'm currently in search for my lost brother, Prince Joseph. He has been lost for months in this wood. Just as they were talking, they heard the sound of someone running. It was none other than the unmannered dwarf. You will never catch me, never! Behind him was the bear. Turns out that the dwarf had stolen the jewels of the bear. Prince Adam quickly recognized the pouch. It belonged to his brother, Prince Joseph. He quickly grabbed his sword to help his brother. Just then, the dwarf suddenly transformed into a monstrous form. While brushing his long, long beard. Quickly cut off his beard. That's the source of his powers. Prince Adam, with all his might, with all his strength, cut off the dwarf's beard, magically transforming Prince Joseph into his rightful form. That wicked dwarf had bewitched me and stolen my jewels. But because of these wonderful girls, I managed to survive, brother. Prince Joseph spoke of the kindness the girls had done for him and immediately made them fall in love with the girls. The sisters too fell in love with the brothers. They soon got married and had the biggest, most marvelous wedding in the kingdom. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Well, folks, that's the end of the story. And I picked up quite a few lessons from that story. which are 1. Always be kind, and 2. Never, ever repay evil for evil. That's all from me, Christina. Thank you. Bye.
Wow, what amazing performance. Christina, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How do you feel right now?
I feel overwhelmed and I'm very thankful. Thank you, Elate SPEKTA, for holding this amazing event. I hope all the best for the upcoming events. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, once again, congratulations to you. And
Thank
now,
you.
let's move on to the first winner.
Okay, this is what we all waiting for. The first winner of Elate Paramythi Storytelling Competition 2020 is Wasila Lydia Jessica. Congratulations. Okay, let us watch the performance.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica and I'm from 60 Public School of Jakarta. Today, I would like to deliver you all a story. And the title of the story is Cinderella. Let's start. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful and kind-hearted girl named Cinderella. She lived with her 2 wicked stepsisters and stepmother. All of her stepsisters and stepmother are all envy with her beauty. One day, a letter from the king came to their house. They and all the girls in the kingdom were all invited to go to the grand ball in the king's palace. And why is there a grand ball? Because the prince would be choosing a wife. And Cinderella was so excited to go. She even made her own dress to go to the grand ball so that she didn't have to burden her stepmother by buying her a new dress. But her 2 stepsisters and stepmother didn't allow her to go. They even ruined Cinderella's dress. What are you wearing, Cinderella? What a shabby dress! You want to embarrass us by wearing that thing to the ball, said her first stepsister as she ripped off the rags from Cinderella's dress. And her other stepsister also did the same thing to her. Yes, Cinderella, a girl like you doesn't deserve to go to the ball. You must stay at home. And suddenly, her stepmother appeared and said, "You 2, my beautiful daughters, are completely right. And you, Cinderella, you 2 stepsisters are right. You must stay at home." She said that as she pushed Cinderella to the ground. Ow! Why are you doing this to me? I just wanted to go to the ball. That's all I've ever wanted, said Cinderella desperately. And her stepmother responded, "I don't care, Cinderella. You must stay at home, you disgusting servant." You are so true, mother. Look at her. Isn't she really pathetic? Yes, she is so pathetic. What a pathetic and disgusting girl, said her 2 stepsisters wickedly. So the 3 of them went to the ball and left Cinderella alone at home crying. Why do they have to do this to me? I just wanted to go to the ball. That's all I've ever wanted. This is my only dream. Why do they do this to me? And suddenly, her fairy godmother appeared. "Don't cry, my child. I will take you to the pool." And Cinderella was surprised and happy that her fairy godmother wanted to help her to go to the grand ball. So, her fairy godmother waved her magic wand to Cinderella's dress. And suddenly, her old rags were turned into a beautiful dress. She was also given a beautiful pair of glass slippers. And her fairy godmother also turned 6 mice and a pumpkin into a beautiful golden couch, 4 black horses, and 2 postmen. So Cinderella was completely thankful for the help. Finally, she's able to go to the grand ball. But she remembered that she couldn't be recognized by her 2 stepsisters and stepmother, which is why she asked her fairy godmother, "Fairy And she said, "But Cinderella, you must remember that the magic wand will only last until midnight, which is why you must get home immediately by then." And Cinderella said yes. When she entered the palace, everybody was amazed by Cinderella's beauty. And the charming prince was also attracted to her beauty. So both of them danced all night long. And Cinderella felt really happy that she could dance with the prince. But she was almost forgot what her fairy godmother had said to her. At the very last moment, she remembered that all of the magic spells will disappear until midnight. I'm sorry, my prince, I must go. It's almost midnight. It's almost 12 o'clock. She said that as she left the palace hurriedly. When she was running, one of her glass slipper came off, and she did not turn back for it because she didn't have much time, which is why she kept running and running. When she arrived at home, the clock already struck at 12 o'clock, and all the magic spells disappeared. And not long after that, her two stepsisters and stepmother went home. Meanwhile, at the palace, the prince had fallen in love with Cinderella. He wanted to find out who was that beautiful girl that was dancing with him at the ball. When he looked down, he found a beautiful glass slipper that was left by Cinderella. And he said, "I will find the girl who would fix this slipper, and she will be the one that I marry." So the second day, the prince and his servants went to all the houses in the kingdom. They asked all the women to wear the slipper on, but nobody fixed the glass slipper. And Cinderella was hoping that the prince might come to her house and visit her and ask her to get married with him. And finally, the prince visited Cinderella's house. When he visited Cinderella's house, her two stepsisters were the one who used the slipper on first. And when the prince was about to leave, he heard a scream, a painful and frustration scream from upstairs. The scream was like, "Please, let me out! Let me out of here! Let me out! Let me out of here! Let me out! Stepmother, let me out! Let me out!" So when the prince heard that, he went upstairs hurriedly, and he opened the attic room. When he opened it, he was really happy, and it was Cinderella that was kept locked up by her stepmother. And he said, My lady, are you all right? Please try on the glass slipper." And Cinderella tried the glass slipper, and it fits perfectly. So the two of them get married and live happily ever after. So that's the end of the story. And the moral of the story is, be like Cinderella, who believed in hope, treated other people with kindness, and always believed in herself. Never be like her stepsisters and stepmother, who are wicked, envious, and evil. Because being like that won't do you any good. So that's all from me. I'm sorry there's a lot of mistakes. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wow, that was spectacular. Jessica, you are the first winner. How do you feel?
I am so happy. Words could never express how happy I am. I'm thrilled. I'm really happy. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I cannot open my video because there's an error. I'm really sorry. Hello?
Yeah, that's fine. Your performance is really great.
Thank you so much.
I personally think that Cinderella's story is kind of difficult to be brought in front of audience because, you know,
thank you.
Yeah, everyone knew the story already, but you managed to present the story really well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Cinderella's story for this competition.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I am so happy with the opportunity. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. I never expected this. Thank you so much.
All right, congratulations again to Jessica for winning in the first place.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, guys, so those are our 3 winners. Now let's give applause to the winners of Elate Paramythi storytelling competition. Now, once again, we would like to express our deepest gratitude to the Vision Flag as our main sponsor and also to all our friends who have participated in this year's competition.
We will also want to inform you that Elate also sells various kinds of merchandise like clothes, tote bags, bucket hats, scrunchies, and face masks. And we will also hold a closing on October 24th. So please attend our closing as it is free of charge.
Don't forget to check our Instagram at Elate SPEKTA for more information. Once again, we would like to congratulate the winners, and for those who haven't had a chance to win, don't be discouraged because there's still a chance for next year. Thank you all and see you again.
Thank you all.
All right,
Thank
everyone.
you.
I would like to ask you to turn on your camera. We are going to take a picture together for our documentation.
Okay.
Everyone, please turn on your camera.
Kak, ini baru bisa. Maaf ya, baru buka sekarang.
Oh iya, nggak apa-apa kok.
Thank you so much.
Untuk Balkis, Dinda, Lailia, boleh dibuka kameranya? Kita mulai aja ya. Hitungan ketiga, 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Oke. Makasih banyak ya teman-teman.
Thank you.
Terima kasih, Kak.
Iya.
Semuanya.
Udah boleh live. Thank you.
Thank you.
Iya, sama-sama. Welcome.